What's up, Mr. Nathan?
Hello, Jeremy.
Mr. Cooley?
How are you?
Mr. Nathan Cooley?
Mr. Jeremy J.T. Thomas.
That's right. So how are you? You got that sip game on lock.
Good. Better now.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
So I was driving home from the lounge and I was listening to Matchbox 20.
Yes.
That their first album.
Yeah.
Do you know what the name of it is?
Yourself or someone like you.
You got it put up on your phone?
Yeah.
That's good.
I do.
That was pretty slick.
The old Spotify help me
Yeah,
out.
but I like that. How's the intro go?
It's
like a drum beat, right?
Yeah. It's like
I wonder what it's like to be. I love that song, man.
Rainmaker.
But
dude, I love them.
I got to tell you, man. When I was younger, I think that album came out in '96. So when I was younger, I had that, and I had Nirvana's album and a few others that I would play regularly in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he hated it. Not Matchbox 20.
Right.
He hated Nirvana.
Yeah.
Because he would always come in and
my dad wasn't a fan of them either.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I think it was too different for them.
Yeah, I get it. I'm honestly not a fan of them now. Sorry, Nirvana fans. I think I respect what they did. I respect what they invented.
Yeah.
But I listen to them now and I'm like, you're not that great of musicians, except for Mr. Dave Grohl.
Mr. Grohl, yes.
I know a lot of people like worship the guy who recorded it. I can't remember. It's Butch Vig.
Butch Vig, yeah.
Again, you have my respect.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to it that much.
But
back in the day, wow, I listened to it a lot. My dad would always be like, son, all I think about when you're back there listening to music is, hey, yeah. He's like, that's the worst music I've ever heard.
Wow.
But check this out. There was one day I couldn't find my Matchbox 20 CD, the one that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I just, look, I lose things. I assumed it was me. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, about a year later, I'm in the truck with my dad, and I get in the truck and it's I'm like, oh man, this song's on the radio. He's like, no, son, that's your CD. And I'm like, my dad stole my Matchbox 20 CD.
Wow.
Which, at first made me upset, but then I was actually kind of happy about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, my dad thinks my music's cool.
Right.
So there was that part.
So you have some good taste anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, because my dad does have like legit taste and mostly like older music, but he was obsessed with it and he never gave it back to me.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad.
So you thought like your album was just gone forever.
I thought I lost it.
And it turns out your dad just stole it.
Yeah, I thought I lost it. But no, he stole it from me.
For a year, Muggs in his truck. Man, I love this CD.
Yeah. Which is kind of a funny subject because of the way that, I decorated my truck. When you were younger and listening to Matchbox 20 and all that kind of stuff, like what were you driving?
Oh. I had a hand-me-down. It was, we bought my cousin's car. My cousin Brian. We bought his Chevrolet Corsica. It was an 88.
Okay.
Chevrolet Corsica.
Okay.
And
what color?
It was like maroon/burgundy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was too bright to be burgundy.
Yeah.
But I remember that car specifically because that's where I discovered Dave Matthews Band and all that stuff, man. Because it had a great system in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, I remember driving downtown Salem, Virginia listening in the mid-90s, just listening to Ants Marching, and I was just like,
oh, that song is great.
Who is this drummer?
Yeah.
And it changed the game for me.
Which Carter got you back into drumming.
Yeah. Because I was kind of like phased out because I just wasn't listening to a lot of new people or even old, you know. But he kind of put the music, fun back into it. And I was just like, I need to learn some of these moves. And still to this day, 25 years later, I'm still doing some of his moves.
Oh no, to the point where like sometimes when I listen to Dave Matthews, and this is sure you can take this as a compliment.
Okay,
I listen to Dave Matthews and I'll hear stuff. I'm like, oh, that sounds like Nathan,
right?
Because I didn't really listen to Dave Matthews, but I'm very familiar with your style, and so now I listen to Dave Matthews. I'm like, this sounds like Nathan, which that's a pretty good compliment.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You could probably argue the same with me and Skinnerd.
Sure.
Like you'll probably go listen to Skinnerd and you're like, that sounds like Jeremy.
Well, it was the other day when Freebird was on the radio, we were at the lounge.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that you playing Freebird?
Yes. Yes.
Because I know you knew the solo.
I will take that all day long.
For sure.
So what was the name of the car?
It was an 88 Chevrolet Corsica.
Oh.
Put the picture up on there.
Okay.
Right there.
There you go. Yeah. I've never seen this car.
Smoking.
I've never
Another
seen
mass quote, by the way.
Yeah. Never seen this car.
Never seen it.
Never.
I mean, it wasn't much to look at, but it was kind of nice.
I see you and I raise you.
Okay.
My dad, I can't remember the reason why, but he decided he needed to buy a cheaper car because he had a truck.
Yeah.
Later on, I had a truck, but he bought a car for $700, and it was a puke green Mercury Topaz.
Oh, wow.
And it had a stick shift, and it was...
You remember what year it was?
Oh, man. And it was definitely 90s.
Okay. But they weren't made for very long.
I will try and find a picture and put right here. But it was like $700. And here's the fun thing about it. It was a stick shift, which I know how to drive a stick shift, but for some reason this car, if you drop the clutch, it would not choke out. So like all the other cars I had driven in stick shift, you don't drive it right, it's going to shut off.
Right.
This one, you drop the clutch, it would just go, and then when you did it in second gear, it did even more. So,
oh my God.
I would get my friends. Some of my friends, maybe Jonathan Neese would remember what I called it, but there was a term we would call it. It's like, all right, make your car do this. And so we would ride down the road, and you'd dump the clutch, and you'd be in the Topaz and just go like down the road.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Did it make your like body go like this?
Oh, dude, the whole car was just like.
Yeah, my friend Greg from Florida, he had an '82 Toyota Tercel, and we were riding down the Main Street. Luckily, it wasn't a huge town, but still, there was people walking. I mean, it's Florida, so everybody's out walking, and we're going down Main Street, basically the whole time, bro. And I was laughing the whole time, dude. I was like, "Yep, hey everybody,
yeah,
what's up?"
That's exactly what ours did. So, but then hilarious. After that, I think. After that or before that, I drove my dad's Chevrolet. And on that, oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. But I had an Oakley sticker on the front.
Nice.
And I had like black lights in the inside of the car, like
sweet
on the bottom. And I had like
black lights.
I had like a Hawaiian seat cover.
Yeah.
But it was like I think it was like black and white, but it was flowers. Like a floral seat cover.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, I did it because it actually was cool.
Right.
Now it's like, that's the lamest, and now it is the lamest.
True. Yeah.
And maybe it was then too, but like, dude, I wasn't the only cat doing this.
Right.
I mean, I didn't make this up.
No.
Did you have an Oakley sticker?
I did. I had that spelled out the entire word, but it went from one side of the windshield to the other. That's how big it was.
Yeah. No, mine was like this.
And it was like, it wasn't white or black. It was like a mirror almost.
Okay.
So I peeled that sucker off, and then like, if the sun hit it right, it would blind you. That's how bright it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I hope people don't get pissed off behind me.
Yeah. But then later,
it was huge.
Later, I got a sky blue S10.
Nice.
But you had something similar, right?
I had a Dodge Dakota for a little while.
Okay.
The smaller sports truck.
Which reminds me, one of the most embarrassing moments in my life. I like to flirt with the devil when it comes to the E on the gas tank.
Oh, yeah.
And
yep.
I'm better as I've gotten older. But I used to like to flirt with it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, one morning, I ran out of gas in the high school parking lot. And when I tell you that I was out of gas in the entrance of where every single car comes in.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was literally just leaned up against my truck while every single body in high school drove by me out of gas.
Yeah.
And that was, part of it was funny because like people were laughing, but like, when you're a high schooler, that's just traumatizing.
Because obviously a lot of people knew who you were.
Yeah. If that happened to me now, I'd be like, this is pretty funny, right? But when you're in high school, you're just like, oh, something didn't go as planned.
Yeah,
my life is ruined.
Yep. It's embarrassing. Yeah. For sure.
So I just remember that particular car.
Nice.
Running out of gas because I took it too far.
Was it your S10 that you ran out of gas?
Yeah.
I never ran out of gas in my Dodge Dakota, but I did leave the keys in there and locked the car, and it was running. I did do that once.
Wow. You need to tell me more about that.
Here's the thing. Like, luckily, I was at my friend's house, Mr. Brian Rodenberry. Luckily, he only lived like 0.2 of a mile from my house. And, but I drove there because, one, it was night, and in Virginia, it gets pretty cold up there. Yeah. So I was like, and plus we were going somewhere else anyway. And I got out of my truck and there was no power locks. It was all manual.
Yeah.
So I hit it just, out of, it was the thing to do. It was muscle memory.
Yeah.
So I just hit the lock and it closed the door. As soon as I shut it, I was like, no, I should not have done that. Because my truck is still running.
Oh my gosh.
And now, but luckily I had an extra key at the house. Mm-hmm. And then, so I was like, hey Dad, can you bring the car and an extra key to my truck? Because I locked myself out.
All right.
Whoops.
We were going to tell this story in a previous episode.
Yeah.
But that reminds me of the keys in the trailer story of my old band. Do you remember me telling you about this?
Oh, dude.
Oh, my God.
It's a good one.
Niece, Chris Hodge, Matt Rodriguez, this one's for you. So we were traveling somewhere.
Bandmates.
Yeah, they were in my band. Yeah. We were traveling somewhere way out west.
Right.
Idaho or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was cold. And I remember we pulled over to a gas station. We pulled in the gas station and we all went in to do whatever.
Yeah.
Well, our manager he went to get something in the trailer and locked the keys. Sorry, guys, if I'm messing up the details. That was a long time ago. But long story short, someone, and it was him, locked the keys inside of the trailer to the keys to the bus. Right, we had like an old airport. We had like an old airport shuttle, right? That like we cleared out. We had bunk beds. We had like a sink and TV and a couch. Like
kind of like a Sprinter or something like that, or
except it felt like a tour bus, just a miniature tour bus.
Gotcha.
Jonathan Neese's dad like built this. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh, nice.
It made touring pretty fun.
Yeah.
So but he locked the keys to this bus in the trailer. And so we made this video, which has been lost. I cannot tell you how much money I would spend just to have this video again.
Yeah.
It was the funniest video I think I've ever made.
Right.
With anybody.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me that made it. I just mean one of the funnier ones that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what would happen is we had one by one, we would come off the bus and we would go like Matt Rodriguez or something would come off the bus and he'd go, "Hey Scott, man, I'm really, really cold in here. Can you give me the keys so I can turn the heater on?" And then we would all bust out laughing, dude. And then someone else, like I would come out and say, "Scott, come on, man. Can you just get the keys and crank this thing up? We got to get going." And then like,
what are we waiting on?
Yeah. And then Niece would do it. And then Chris would do it.
Yes.
And the best part was that I can't remember who went and got this person, but somebody went and got the cashier at the Shell station. And she was like, the sweetest woman or whatever. And so we went into it, got the cashier. And so we had this on video, dude. The cashier comes out and says, "Hey, Scott, we got some people that need to pull up here. Can you get the keys out of the trailer?"
She called him by name, too?
Yes. She called him by name and was like, can you move this trailer? Because we got some people who need to pull up here. It was so funny.
Oh, my gosh.
Man,
That's amazing.
So freaking funny.
Was it even funny to Scott?
No. That's what made it funny.
Okay.
That's a very good detail. He was so mad.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was
even to the Shell woman?
No, I think at that time, that time he was kind of like touche.
Okay, good. All
like
right.
this is
because I probably would have laughed at that.
I don't think you understand, right? I'm older now. Mm-hmm. All these guys older now,
right?
But when we were doing this,
y'all in your 30s now, right?
Yeah. So we're all in our 30s. But you have to understand, when this happened, we were probably 21.
Oh yeah.
And so we hit him with, the comedy bat.
Yeah.
Until he almost died.
Right.
And he was so mad because we just would not stop.
Yeah.
We just were like, is anything we could think of.
Oh my gosh.
We would do the bit, film it, but it was called The Keys in the Trailer video. And
dude, that's hilarious.
I hate that we don't have it. And another funny video that we used to have that Matt Rodriguez, the bass player. So our manager would always treat us like we were kids. He was the youth pastor and our manager, but he would always treat you like you were a kid. And to be fair, we were.
Right, yeah.
But even then you're like, dude, don't tell me what to do.
Young dudes in a band?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you can't get any more kiddish than that, bro.
Oh, and we're in a band, super arrogant.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand, like we're playing and there's like girls every night just thinking that we're the best.
Y'all are playing at huge festivals too, right?
Yeah.
So there's people everywhere.
Oh, yeah. So we were pretty arrogant.
Dude, I would have been the same.
Yeah. But what was funny is he would if we would stay the night, if some family would offer us, to stay in their house, before we would leave, our manager would go over and say, "Y'all get over there and tell them thank you."
Right.
And we just wanted to be like, we haven't even had the chance to say it. But
right, yeah.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
So one time we did a tour all the way to Seattle down to California.
Yeah.
I also happened to quit the band in this trip. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, it all worked out. It all worked out. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
So went down to California and then decided we were going to come back home and go through the Grand Canyon. Well, we went and saw the Grand Canyon. And when I tell you, Matt nailed it with the joke delivery.
Oh, yeah.
We had it on video and everything. And he went over to our manager. And he was like, get over there and tell the Grand Canyon thank you. Oh, yes. And it was the same. It was the same exact reaction as the keys in the trailer, where it's like,
right.
We thought it was hilarious, and he wasn't having it. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I tell you, and the same guy when I quit the band, it was very awkward. I quit in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And I quit in the hotel lobby, but then afterwards we were in the hotel room and we were all talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was super awkward. There's never a good way or time to quit the band that you've been whatever.
Yeah.
And so everyone was nice. Like, no one was rude, but it's like their dreams are gone, at least in the moment. And,
for sure.
So we're all just sitting there. And it's super quiet and it's super awkward.
Yeah.
And then Matt Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I told you got to meet this guy.
Yeah,
his delivery is just, and his timing. So we're just sitting there, super awkward. I just quit the band. No one knows what to do with their life. Right. I just derailed the whole thing. I feel like crap.
Yeah.
Well, after a few minutes of very awkward silence, Matt goes, "Hey, Jeremy?" It's like, yeah. He's like, "Can I tell you something without you getting mad at me?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess." He goes, "I love you, man." And then we all just died laughing because that's from Wedding Crashers.
Right.
But it was the most perfectly timed, because it was too awkward. And he just
I bet.
He perfectly.
I've been through those moments before too, man.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. It is literally the best decision I've ever made.
Sure.
As much as I loved that band, it was the right call for my personal life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't regret it at all. But it was also one of the hardest decisions I ever made because I wanted to be in a band. And dude, we almost made it.
Yeah.
Like we were literally talking to Tooth and Nail Records and had all this stuff. We recorded with Matt Goldman, who did Amber Lynn and Under Oath and Cartel. And it was, we almost did it. And I felt terrible because it's like we got there.
Yeah.
And I backed out. But I think I backed out because I was like, oh gosh, this is about to happen.
Yeah.
Like we're probably going to sign a record deal soon.
Right.
And that scared me. And I always wanted a family.
Yeah.
I always wanted the white picket fence and, that whole thing. And,
for sure.
I have that now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier. Yeah. And by the way, still very good friends with everyone in the band.
Right.
So it did all work out. And but there is a part of me that misses what we used to do,
Sure. Absolutely.
But
I mean, you can tell by your guitar videos and stuff like that, you're just like still passionate about it.
Yeah.
But it's just, it just doesn't pay the bills, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
So.
And there's part of it where they loved being on the road.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I just could not do it. I couldn't sleep on the road.
Yeah.
And just, I'm kind of a homebody.
Yeah.
I love being social, but at the end of the night, I need to be at home in my own bed.
I mean, the thought of being on the road is enticing to anybody.
Yeah.
But once you do it and you do it over and over again, you're just like, all right.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I thought it was better than this or whatever. But
so for those listening that might not know, I was in a band. You know this. And I think I was in the band like 6 years, but maybe 2 of the years we toured like nationally. We never got international, but we were, it was the real deal.
Sure.
We played stadiums and Winter Jam and like it was
all the festivals.
It was legit. But for me personally, I quickly found out that's not the life that I wanted to live. It's a lot different because one of the things that you said was it seems enticing, and it did.
Sure. Yeah.
But once you're living out of your suitcase every single day, and you're not meeting any friends,
Yeah.
That like you don't have those regular friends in your life that you can talk to. It's like every person you meet, you probably will never see again.
Yeah.
Unless you go back to that city.
Yeah.
And like I said, that life sounds awesome to some people, but for me, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, you were like in the Ruby Sue from Christmas Vacation. She's like, it's nice here. Your vehicle's always parked, or your house is always parked in the same place. You don't have to go put on a coat to go to the bathroom.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
so essentially, Sue. I'm in cousin Eddie's family. Yeah.
Everybody feels like Ruby Sue after a while.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of cool. Will you tell everyone who you met a couple weekends ago?
Oh yeah. We actually
James Earl Jones.
Right.
No, he did not.
I was like, hey, Darth Vader.
Dude, I wonder if people do like introduce themselves like that.
Right.
They just see James Earl Jones. Hey, Darth Vader.
Right.
And you got to do it kind of like nerdy.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, you have to.
Hey, Darth Vader.
Star Wars nerds, man. You got to stick together.
Yeah.
And we got to talk the same too.
I've always wanted to. I never want to be this rude, but when people are talking behind me in the movie theater, I just want to turn around and say, "Hey, James Earl Jones, shut up." But I don't know. I never have because it's extremely mean.
Yeah.
But there's like, if it's a girl, just turn around. Yo, Sigourney Weaver, pipe down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It depends on which movie you go to. Like when I went to see Halloween a couple years ago, they re-released it, and or not re-release. It was the 40 years later, basically.
Yeah.
Because Jamie Lee Curtis is back in it.
Sure.
That stuff.
Sure.
So I saw it, and the theater was pretty full. So I didn't go with anybody. I just went and saw it by myself.
Sure.
But the theater was packed, and it was mostly black people, which was awesome.
Yes.
So I knew it was going to be more
That's
funny.
It's true. If it's white people, I don't want them talking behind me.
Right.
But for some reason, the black community, it's just so good.
They pick their spots.
Yeah,
they don't talk all the way through it.
Yeah.
So
and what they say is usually pretty dang funny.
Yeah, because like the typical scene, which she gets away, but then she runs right straight to the woods, and all you hear in the back is, "Where you going?"
Dude, that reminds me.
Oh my gosh.
One of the ones that I saw in the same scenario was The Hangover.
Oh, okay.
I saw The Hangover, and behind me, I am not kidding you,
dude,
was about a 7-foot tall black man.
Yeah.
And even if I wanted to, I ain't going to say anything to this guy.
Right.
But I didn't want to because, man, it was so funny because they would do something and he would go, "Man, no, don't you do that. Hey, man, what you doing?"
Right.
And I swear it made the movie 10 times funnier.
Oh, dude.
So
absolutely
good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of want an app of this guy. Right. I want to plug in my headphones and like listen to the movie with his commentary.
You said it was The Hangover?
Yeah, that's what it is. They're more like good commentary.
Yeah.
They're not just like, "Hey, you want to go to McDonald's after?"
Right.
It's not like that. It's not like they're just talking to each other.
Yeah.
They have
just
this.
Enjoy the moment.
They have, what it's like? It's like reaction videos. It's like YouTube reaction videos.
Yeah.
And that's why it's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like you're saying, the guy's scared. It's like, don't go in there.
Right. Yeah. And this dude was like I was like on the second row.
Yeah.
Because I bought my ticket late. This dude was like up top, like near the back, and just powered over everybody. And it was so funny.
What was the story you told me one time where you were watching a trailer and some guy was like, "Nope."
Oh,
you know what I'm talking
about? It was, shoot, I can't remember the trailer.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it because the movie wasn't worth seeing. So it was like, it was this trailer and everybody's just like, because like the trailer right before that was something everybody wanted to see, and they were just like, yes.
Yeah.
And so the trailer ended, and there was like silence, and then goes, and then the dude behind me goes, nope. Oh man,
that reminds me. We went to the $2 theater somewhere with Chris Hodge, and we were watching You, Me, and Dupree.
Yeah,
and it was the first time I've ever heard the song "Fix You."
Oh wow!
So this is a while back.
Yeah,
but it was at the end, and the part comes. How I looked at him, and I was like, Chris. I just knew Chris knew who this was
right
at the time, because again, it's not like if you heard it now. Even like it was like you were kind of cool if you knew who this was.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Chris. I was like, what's this song? He goes, dude, this is Coldplay. And I was like, oh my God. And it was the bridge of Fix You. It's the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah.
So they went through this whole part. And then right after that, there's this love scene. And it's super quiet. And they're about to kiss.
Yeah.
And Chris just lets out a fake fart. And the funny part was, in the $2 theater, it was me, Chris, and one other couple.
Oh.
So it was so loud.
Yeah.
So like they're like
nice,
getting back together and apologizing, and it's super quiet, and they're about to kiss, and he just and I died laughing.
Yes.
I don't even know if he remembers this, but that crap was so funny to me. But anyway, you met someone pretty cool.
I did. But before we do that, I have one more trailer story.
Do it.
So we were watching, I remember what movie it was too that we were going to go watch. It was Cloverfield.
Okay.
Shot like this.
Yeah.
With 8mm or whatever it was.
Right.
By the way, during that movie, I had to look away because I was sitting too close. So
really?
I looked away for like 30 seconds. I was like, I'm going to be sick. But before that, there was a movie trailer, and it was Star Trek. And oddly enough, Rudy and I think Richie, his brother, were somewhere in the theater because I had seen him on the way in, but I was sitting somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so I knew they were there.
Yeah.
And so we were watching this whole Star Trek thing, and then it gets quiet, and the theater's full.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And so then it ends, it gets quiet, and I go, the theater loses it. I was like, yeah, that's probably coming from a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
Suck it, Star Trek.
Yes. That's great. That is fantastic.
But they were like, but Rudy and Richie saw me afterwards. They were like, was that you doing Chewie? And I was like, yes, sir.
Nailed it.
At your service.
Nice job.
So, at the wedding, a couple weeks ago now.
The wedding you're playing drums at.
Yes. Band was playing for a wedding in Douglasville, Georgia. And wedding was going well.
Yeah.
Bride and groom said I do. So it's time to party. And that's why we're there.
Mm-hmm.
We're to entertain. And so we're playing set, and then all of a sudden our one of our singers, Chris Cooley, gets in the talkback mic. He goes, attention guys, Matt Stafford is in the crowd.
Wow.
And he was like, Matt Stafford's here, Matt Stafford, because he just kept repeating it.
Yeah.
I was like, for real? And so we play for like another hour or so, and then we take a break. And I forgot he was there because I was doing something else or whatever. Oh, I was trying to keep drunk people off the stage.
There you go.
That's what happened.
Please tell me you did meet him. Just give spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, I did meet him.
Okay, all right.
So I actually saw Chris and our band director, Ryan Stewart. They were back there talking to him. And I was like, oh man, this is my chance to go
for sure
meet him because they're back there,
Yeah.
So I walked straight to him. And so as soon as I get there, I was just like, hey guys, what's up? And then Chris Cooley hands me his phone and goes, hey, can you take a picture with us?
Oh, no.
Or of us? And I was like, Yeah, sure.
I'm just
Chris.
I'm just the help. You know?
Yeah, I'm just the backline. Who cares? So I was like, sure, yeah, no problem. So before I take a picture of them, though, I turn the camera around and flash a selfie. But then I turn the camera back around and take a picture of them. And so I was like, yeah, here you go. And so Stafford comes up to me and goes, hey, man, you know, we're living the days of the fist bump or whatever. So he was like, hey, man, great job on the drums. And I was like, and I wanted to say, great job at passing. You throw the ball really well.
Great job at staying a Lion for so long.
And kudos to Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Good for you going to L.A. Because you need to get out of Detroit.
Yeah. I think people are going to actually start talking about him now.
Absolutely.
Well, that's cool that you met him.
Yeah. And he was super cool and just, I mean, it was like in passing, but I was like, oh, dude, he didn't have to come up to me because, you know, I wanted to go up to him and just be like, hey, man, what's up? Yeah. And, you know, nice to meet you. But he came up to me, so I thought that was pretty cool of him.
Yeah. I mean, you are one of the hosts on Twerk Ethic Show.
That's right. Which is this show.
He knew. He was like, is that Cooley? That's the guy who sips. And coughs and snorts and dies. You're gonna die on the show. You know how bad I'd feel if you actually died.
Oh my gosh.
For a multitude of reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
So I met him.
Yes.
We used to live together.
You and Matt Stafford?
Yeah. Me and Matt Stafford.
Wow.
No,
you're
you and I.
Yes.
JT and Cooley used to be roomies.
Yep.
For a while.
Yeah.
And it worked out well because I traveled on the weekends.
Like 4 years.
Yeah. And so you had the place to yourself on the weekends, basically.
Right.
And then I had the place to myself 9 to 5 during the week.
Yeah.
To myself. Yeah. So it worked out really well.
It really did.
And you used to travel
a lot.
A whole bunch. I mean, you were gone at weeks at a time. One of the trips, you went to LA and you met some famous people.
Oh,
yourself.
Yes. That's
at Fox, right?
That's a good pull. Yeah. I met some of the staff.
Staff.
What it feels like. I met the cooks that cater the New Girl show.
Right. I met the cameraman.
I actually met Nick and Schmidt.
Or camera woman. Yeah. Modern society.
I met Nick and Schmidt from New Girl. I don't remember their names in real life. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I probably a lot of people don't.
I like the show. Yeah. I think the show is hilarious. I'm not a huge fan. In other words, like, I don't watch it a lot, but when I do watch it, it's hilarious. Yeah. So no dig at all to the show. I'm just not a super fan.
Right.
If I met like someone from The Office, then, you know, of course I'm going to know their name and all that stuff. For sure. But anyway, this is how it happened. So I'm working at Fox and I'm staying next door to Fox.
Yeah.
At the Intercontinental. Right. So I work all day at Fox. And then I come back to the hotel. 4 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
And I walk up and there's a completely full movie set blocking me from getting into the hotel. And I'm like, it feels like a prank because I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Just want to go back to my hotel room. Well, there's a big security guard. And so I go to the security guard and I said, hey man, what's going on? Are they filming a movie here? He's like, I don't know, something new woman, something. And I was like,
New Woman?
New Girl? He goes, yeah, that's it. I was like, they're filming an episode of New Girl?
New Woman.
Here?
That's awesome.
Exactly. And he was like, yeah, I think so. And at that time, I turned my head and I see Zooey Deschanel. And I was like,
and she ain't ugly.
That's Zooey Deschanel.
Right.
It literally, I just did not expect this.
And plus, we're a big fan of Elf. I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's where she got her start. Anyway.
Right. And I saw her just like filming.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
that's awesome.
This is really cool. So I went upstairs to my room and then I was like, you know what, Jeremy, you got to do better than this. You got to go down there and like try to think of a way you can talk to one of them.
Ask her where the weight room is.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, I did not meet Zoe Deschanel. I'm just go ahead and, So, yeah. But I went down the elevator and I went and sat in the lobby of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And she's out filming a scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can I meet these people? And I'm just thinking, blah, 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 blah. And then as I'm thinking, the guy, Nick, just sits down right beside me.
No way.
I mean, literally like right here. And I'm like, there's the door
right
that has just opened.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of nervous, man, because like, I've met celebrities and stuff, but like, I don't know that I've met one like that big.
Right.
Yeah. And so I didn't know what to say. I'm like, you know what, dude, just be honest.
Yeah.
So I turned to him, I said, hey, man, I think you're hilarious in the show. I said, and I don't know your name. I'm sorry. I said, and you don't know my name. And then he laughed.
Yeah.
And I said, but I'm Jeremy. And he told me his name. I think his name might be like Jake or something like that.
All right.
But he shook my hand. I said, hey, dude. I said, I'm sure you saw this coming, but no one's going to believe that I saw you. Would it be okay if I got a picture with you? He said, sure, man. Well, we stand up. There's a kid. I asked the kid, hey, can you take a picture?
Yeah.
Well, as we're posing, Schmidt comes in, and he's in character.
Right, yeah.
Because they're filming.
Yeah, yeah.
He's in total character. He's like, yo, let me get in there. And so I turn around and it's Schmidt, and I'm like,
dude, that's awesome.
What is going on?
Right.
And so he's like, man, let me get in there. It's going to be fire. Like, again, he's like in total character.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
fire.
Okay, yeah. So we all, like, I'm in the middle and I've got my arms around both of them, and the guy takes a picture. Mm-hmm. And then, so the guy takes a picture, and Schmidt was like, hey, let me see that. I got to make sure that picture's right. So he's like, that's what's up. And then here's the cool part.
Yeah.
I kind of blacked out after this.
Oh yeah,
because it was so much stimulation
for sure.
Because it was him, and then it was Schmidt coming out of nowhere, and actually interested, And then I did something. I told a joke, and they died laughing.
Nice.
And Schmidt died laughing. He was like, "This dude right here is hilarious."
Nice.
And that's when I almost fainted.
They're going to give us a follow on here.
Yeah.
You watch.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I actually don't remember what I told the guy.
Right.
But I made him laugh. And I was like, that's amazing.
That's cool.
So then they were like, hey, we got to go. We got to film. I was like, dude, I totally understand. Thank you so much for your time. Honestly, I know everyone asked you to take a picture, but I appreciate it. And they're like, yeah. So I went up. Well, they ended up filming the episode Cece's Wedding. Oh. And so I actually went to my balcony and smoked a cigar, and I watched them film outside for like 2 hours.
Nice.
And it was like kind of a like surreal moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I didn't plan it.
Right.
I didn't even come up with the cool idea to meet the guy. Like he sat down beside me.
Right.
So it felt appropriate for me to say something. Yeah. I didn't go in his personal space and bother him or whatever. Yeah. But I am bummed that I never got to meet Zoe.
Yeah.
I do have a picture of her like through the glass, and it was only because she was filming. Right. Like if she would have not been filming at that moment, I probably could have got to take it. I probably could have taken a picture of her. But
oh yeah, dude.
I also might have fainted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
So yeah, dude, that was a pretty cool story, me meeting them. And what's funny is Schmidt, I actually used to know someone like him in real life. He used to work for me, not work for me. Sorry. He used to work with me. Yeah. And his name was Jacob. So Jacob, if you're listening, you know about your Jacobisms. But yesterday at the lounge, you and I were talking about how you know the phonetic alphabet, like what the military uses, like the Alpha, Bravo, whatever.
Yep. Instead of saying the letter, you actually have to say the whole thing. So.
Which you're pretty into, like, what would you call that? Flight knowledge?
Yeah. I started watching this dude. He's out of Indiana, and Premier One driver. Okay. He's got his own plane. He owns a pharmaceutical company, and he like flies his own plane everywhere, and he uses it for personal and business.
Yeah.
So I was like, that is. I mean, you made it to that level where you just like
for sure
and get in my own plane, and plus he used to be like in the. He was in the military too, and he had like 1,000 hours flying in the military. I think he was in the Air Force or something like that. But he's just fun to watch, and I I go to his YouTube and just like if I like want to go somewhere, he puts a camera. He puts like 3 different cameras in the cockpit, and he was like, he always says, "Come and take the ride with me in the right seat."
Oh, that's cool.
And so you watch like him start up the plane, and
that's super cool.
And take off, and then like he'll land or whatever. And I'm just like, this is kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, and it's kind of soothing too. So I was like, hey, I kind of want to go somewhere, especially during COVID. I watched his videos a lot. So it's just like, because I couldn't go. I mean, we all couldn't go anywhere.
So speaking of that alphabet, this guy who reminds me of Schmidt.
Yep.
I got a new laptop at work. This is years ago. And I called him on the office phones and I said, hey, I'm setting up and configuring my new laptop. Can you read me the Wi-Fi password? He's like, yeah, sure. So he's reading me out the letters for the password.
Right.
And you're laughing because you remember the story now. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm thinking of somebody else doing that same thing, but yeah.
Well, so he's like, B as in beer. He's like struggling with the letters.
Right.
But then he goes, this is the best one. He was like, all right, E as in I. And I was like, dude, are you serious? He's like, he's like, yeah, like eyeball. I was like, no, I get it. But I is another letter in the alphabet.
Right.
He goes, oh, dude. And I'm like, wow.
Well, I was thinking of Brian Regan. He's like, give me your confirmation number for your flight. He's like, 21 B as in baked beans. Gosh, it's so hilarious, man.
Well, I think we're going to have to call it quits today.
All right.
Again, just today, not as
an ever?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're never.
Because I was like, I think we got a pretty good thing going on here.
We do now. We do. I said now like we just figured it out, but
right.
No, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you very much.
Yes.
Honestly, every week we get just more and more very specific feedback that is honestly overwhelming.
Yeah. It definitely helps us out because, I mean, everybody has second thoughts about everything and, just kind of like, well, what if?
Yep.
But those compliments really help us out, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
For the positive feedback.
So thank you for the feedback.
Yeah.
If you have questions that you just want to ask us, or if you have ideas that we could do on the show, that's questions@twerkethicpodcast.com or ideas@twerkethicpodcast.com. Just email them to us. Promise you we'll respond.
Yep.
But you can also message us on Instagram, comment below, right, on YouTube. And
yes,
we very much appreciate it.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the notifications bell. Because we're going to be posting more than once a week.
For sure.
Maybe 375 times this week or something like that.
I'm thinking 373 and a half.
Okay. I mean, it's not that much of an effort, but
yes,
if you land on that number, it's fine.
Yep. So, all right, man. Well, that's another one in the books. This is episode 8.
Yes.
So thank you, everyone. Have an awesome week.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later, crocodile.
Oh yeah. That was your niece, right?
My niece said that when she was, when was that? I think she was 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, she said it to me.
And she knew exactly what she was doing or what she was saying. And she was like, it's not going to rhyme, but it's kind of the same preface.
So
and she was just like, we were like, We were like, see you later. She goes, see you later, crocodile.
So there you go.
That's the best thing ever.
See you later, crocodile.
Yeah.